This segment of Trojans Live is brought to you by Rockin' Riley's USC, the best place to be during the game. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, joined now by the offensive line coach Tim Drevno, and he's a happy guy today. This was Christmas come early for him. 6 new offensive linemen, and coach, what obviously stands out about this group, 6'5" or larger seemed to be the entry point. Is it one of those cases where, hey, as a coach, you can't coach a guy to be bigger. You can teach him all the skills, but you need them to have that size coming in, and all these guys do.
Yeah, we're really excited about the guys coming in. I think when you get coach big, one thing, they bring great durability, especially with lower body girth, measurables. There's a guy that could be a tackle, could move in to be a guard, a center. And, when you're going against guys that got length, you want to have length with the measurables. So we're really excited about this class. All of them are really athletic, really can bend, got good recoverability. If they get knocked off a block, they can recover. So we're really excited. I was very thankful that Clay decided, hey, let's take 6 offensive linemen. So it's going to be really exciting when they get here in June.
Coach, you mentioned it a little bit, between the difference between an outside guy and an inside guy. When you're watching guys play, what really differentiates that for you when you're watching them play, maybe practicing games and seeing that this guy's going to go inside, or this guy, he has a chance to be an outside guy?
Yeah, I think, when you're playing outside, number one, you want a guy be able to have good foot turnover speed and be able to handle the speed rush, be able to sit down and anchor, when you get a bull rush. I think a guy that has a little bit slower feet but maybe has a little bit more mass, plays with a little bit more power, you want inside, especially at the guard's position. And I think the center position, number one, that guy's got to be really, really smart. And the brains, when the screen changes, things move, you're redirecting the protection, he can handle it and communicate it. I think he's the second most important guy on the offense besides the quarterback.
There have been some stories in the last couple of years about sort of the lack of big bodies in the Pac-12 footprint. Now, obviously, you found some in the area, but you also went out of the area and went into Texas and got some big men. Is that something that you feel like at the line of scrimmage that you've had to do, sort of look a little bit more nationally to find some of the top offensive line prospects?
Yeah, I think that, with our relationship with Coach Jinks and Coach Harold, be able to go down to the state of Texas, that helped us tremendously. I was very thankful for that, to get the 5th and 6th guy, committed. I think that you want to build a fence around the state of California, right down the west. You want to get the best guys. You're building, hey, L.A. area, California, we're not letting them leave. They're our people. But then sometimes as you go, you got to kind of go across nationally to go find that guy, especially because there's not a lot of big guys.
Yep.
You can find the receiver. You can find the quarterback.
Yep. You
can find those things, but playing the offensive line is a trained habit. Nobody says, hey, I'm going to go push the car down the middle of the street with the wide base, So those are the guys that we're looking for. Train them.
Coach, there was a little bit of uncertainty in December with the team and what was going to happen and stuff. And I got recruited at USC when there was a ton of uncertainty with Pete Carroll coming in and who was going to happen. What's it like trying to recruit sometimes with that uncertainty? And how do you relay it to the recruits that, hey, we're going to get this thing steered in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, I number one, you're honest with them. Mm-hmm. You say, hey, I don't know what's going to go on, but I know one thing: USC is a great place. And if you choose to come here, if you're committed, you came here for the education. Number one. Coaching staffs are going to change. That's part of the deal. Yep. And you want to be here with great teammates, and you're going to get a meaningful degree. And if something happened to football, you'd be able to go to school here. That's the thing I kind of focus on. And just honest with them and tell them, hey, I really think this is going to work out. We're going to come through this. It's part of the deal. You got to shut out the outside noise, the public perception. I know we got a really good football team, and it worked out. I was very thankful, President Fulton and Mike Bone, and allowing us to come back, because I think we got something really, really special in this football team.
Well, the best recruit you could get for next season would be to have your left tackle come back for his senior year, but you also want what's best for him. So how do those conversations go with Austin Jackson as after the bowl game he starts to look at his NFL future potentially?
Number one, I think that, that's something that, he's got to visit with Clay about, and myself and his family, and communicate with them. I told him right now we're finishing finals. We're going to have a great 2 weeks of preparation for Iowa. We're going to get our 9th win, this most important thing. And I think what I see for Austin is this. I see number one is get an All-American plaque down that walkway. That's what SC linemen are about. Number two, coming back and be a leader, right? Mm-hmm. And number three is winning championships and, returning this program to glory, to the highest level, what USC football is about. So those are the things, because I think that going to the NFL, it's a different deal. You know, those guys are ready to take another man's job, and you got to be ready for it. Austin's ready for it, but I think another year of development would be huge for him. Especially he came in with Andrew Voorhees, Brett Nealon, Elijah Vera Tucker, Jalen McKenzie, and him. He can finish it. You know, here, get his degree in the fall. He's done with it. He can go on to NFL training and know everything's behind him. Because I think sometimes when you go away, it's hard to come back to finish that degree because you know what it's like. It's dedication at that level.
Yeah, Coach, you had Brett Nealon go down at the end of the year, and Justin Dietrich finished out the year strong for you. Where's Brett in his healing process, and who we expect to see at center?
Yeah, you know, Brett's came back very well. We're bringing him back slowly, making sure we're protecting him through this week. Justin Dietrich did an outstanding job. I feel very, very comfortable with both of them in there. You know, Brett's a little bit older guy. He's seen a little bit more football. But I feel strongly as we go pushing forward, we'll make that decision as we get into next week. With Brett's health, but Justin did an outstanding job, and we're thankful we have Justin Dietrich.
For the future of those two guys, do you start to double train them a little bit? Are you already double training them so that, I mean, center is one of those rare positions in football, sort of like quarterback. You can only play one, so can one of them eventually maybe flex out to another position so that they're not sitting watching the other one play?
Absolutely. You know, my job is to put the best 5 guys on the field, so if one of them moves the guard, then we'll do that. So that's always an option, and we're always working in and trying to, you know, dual role guys and see where their strengths are.
Coach, one last one from me. I've been dying to ask you since I've seen you back at USC. What was that game plan putting together like when you had to face Sean Cody in the NFL and you getting those 49ers, those offensive linemen ready to face up against old number? I don't remember what number I was in the NFL, but what was that game plan
playing
like?
Next,
Sean
Cody?
Number one, number you better set anchor because you're going to bull rush, and number 2, you better get your head out of there because it's going to be arm over later.
And
it must
have been a rundown because they were getting me out on pass rush stuff.
Hey, give us a real quick scouting report on that Iowa defense. The numbers are pretty startling. That's a tough unit.
Yeah, I mean, I think number one with Iowa is you know, Coach Ferentz been there for 21 years. The defensive coordinator is 21 years. The strength coach has been there for 20-plus years. They have a culture. They have a system how they recruit. They know what they want to do and how they do it. And it's a very, very talented defense. I've coached against them before at a former employer. So you know, the defensive line, very strong, very physical. They're ready to stop the run. They got a great defensive lineman playing over Austin Jackson, supposed to be an NFL guy, which I see it on film. So linebackers run well. You know, they fit the pass well. So, I mean, this is really going to be a true test for us, and I think it's a great test for us to be able to push momentum on to the spring ball and then to next year. So feel very, very thankful to be able to go to the Holiday Bowl. What a great bowl to go to, and looking forward to teeing it up with them.
Well, we're thankful to have you on the show tonight, and we look forward to watching your unit out there next week in San Diego. Ontario International Airport is one of Southern California's fastest-growing airports. Come experience the SoCal So Easy way with ONT. Go to flyontario.com and see how we connect people and places. Fight on, Trojans, and fly on with Ontario International Airport. One of our favorite people is coming up next, Gavin Morris, to break down recruiting on Trojans.